Hello, and welcome back to Roottreemania, where the thing I'm interested in here is this bit about Mary Beth and Sterling, because this did not get locked in when everything else got locked in. I do have an alternate picture of you, by the way, looking good as always. Sterling is not available as a last name, is it? I hope not. Okay, so Mary Beth Clementine. Both times to our manager Sterling. Maybe her name really is Clementine, and his last name isn't. Nothing shows up for Sterling Clementine. I'm going to guess Sterling is not going to show up anything either. So it's Sterling something maybe. I don't have any relevant periodicals, do I? Modern Music Monthly. How about Mary Beth Clementine? Music Monthly has a very positive review of her cover, and the writer complimented her voice and the tone of her guitar. Nothing to say about Mary Beth herself, so it's not much use to their investigation. Some other Mary Beth Clementine releases. Let me just highlight this and throw this in here. I think we can just search for specific. Actually, let's look under the label New Edison first. This is a small record label based in Los Angeles that existed for a few years in the 1940s. Raised to release cover records of songs that were gaining in popularity. According to the website about the history, recorded sound, it was named after its founder, Sterling Edison. Okay, so Sterling Edison is your answer, or is your name. There we go. His biggest claim to fame is being sued by the estate of Thomas Edison in Edison Records versus Edsel. You also find a few references to New Edison and Mary Beth Clementine on their old records. One collector said the Holy Grail is the re-release of the Old Rugged Cross, and says the first edition was originally published before she legally changed her name. Another site claims that the police had to be called to New Edison Records after its owner, Sterling Edison, got in a physical altercation in public, leading to a divorce. There's no cited sources or evidence, and the site's content seems to be user-submitted. There's an email address at the bottom, and the phrase, "Send me your stories about old Hollywood, and I'll add them." Okay. Let me just Google this, the Old Rugged Cross, because that's come up a couple times. Popular hymn that's been covered by many times. You won't find much relevant information about it online. Okay, but that one has her name before she changed her name officially. Okay, this was released, as advertised quite a few times. It was first reviewed by the magazine, however, it listed the author as Mary Beth Quaker. There we go. There we go. Mary Beth Quaker. Okay. Oh, I still should look for Sterling Edison stuff, because I still want a picture of Sterling Edison, just, recreationally. I might not get one. Okay, what about... can I do anything more with Mark Clementine? Because I would like to know his spouse and their children are also showing up there. Apparently Portland Telegraph. Okay, so Portland Telegraph is the thing I should be looking at. The Portland Telegraph, Mark Clementine. Okay, was one of the world's... provided the nickname Crocodile Clementine and some details about his first major arrest. He was only caught because he was bit by a crocodile in the leg and had to call in Mayday because he was losing blood. And he tried to tell them he was a crop duster who'd somehow cut his leg on a loose piece of metal in the cockpit. This story seemed very odd, and Charles quickly alerted the police without informing him. Okay, unfortunately, this doesn't seem useful. Oh, no. We're not, I think, going to learn anything about his brother there, right? Mary Beth Clementine isn't going to show up. And Stuart's certainly not going to show up. So we have Mark Clementine, or Crocodile Clementine. I'm going to guess if I show up Crocodile Clementine, it's not going to show up with anything. Yeah. Okay, I don't know how I'm possibly going to get your spouse. I think these two are right now. Let's see. Who else can I hope to nail down here? I think I've got those two. Okay, so maybe I can try and hunt down through the secretary list who the other secretaries are. Because we know that the one that was listed... there we go. Susan Ford, we know, is one of the women that he had an affair with. And there was this bit in this one. Yeah, the this one, the Susie something. Okay, he died shortly after that. So maybe that's telling us that Susan Ford was actually the most recent of the affairs. So this would be Susan Ford, secretary. And we know, I think that would be her because of the fact that we were told that he only switched to the other colored shirt very late after this. Why do we have a picture of Chris Rafferty? Is he going to be one of the people who's engaged in the assorted affairs? That'll be said. Not Luisa Garcia might be very upset. Okay, so Susan Ford. We do know that she's associated with some of this translation stuff. So let's see if we can find anything better about Susan Ford. Anything in like the Butler times? Nothing relevant. I didn't think so. What can I do? With this, because I know that, like, let's look back here and see exactly what it says about Susan. Because it says, he remembered her from our trips overseas. She was too good for him. So she was like the translator for the whole like Brazil thing or something. The Roottree Brazil factory. Apparently I already have all of this stuff marked somewhere. Yeah, this is in my searches, I guess. Okay. Portuguese writing. Okay, I don't think I've searched for this yet. Okay, this is a Brazilian politician. You find a dissertation published by a college student as part of their PhD in history. It focuses on the rise of democracy in Brazil. It seems up until 1988, Brazil was run by the military, and the politics during that time were often ripe for corruption and nepotism. The paper tells a few politicians at the time, including Censores Edson, former mayor of Alvaguras. Before politics, he was a manager of an automotive plant, manufacturing. Let's see, I'm going to add a new... ad page. There we go. Brazil stuff. As a mayor, he used his manufacturing background and knowledge of American business to establish new factories, distribution plants, and other business ventures. Had two side effects. First, he became quite rich. Second, many locals were forcibly relocated. This did not make him a popular mayor, and what the paper speculates was a move to counteract this unpopularity. His wife, Sonia, was discreetly put in charge of a television station called Teleraid. He often used his connection to ensure supporters would appear on local television, spouting his beliefs and emphasized his political victories. He remained in office until 1988, when he was defeated in the first election after the military government was no longer in control. After this election loss, he quickly left the town behind. Does not know where he's gone, but the dissertation even speculates he likely fled to stay alive. Is this going to show up? In the 1970s, after a vacuum was created, a different network at the hands of the Brazilian dictatorship. We'll keep that in there. Okay, let's search for Roottree Everywhere. We've got sort of 4 different places that it went. The Roottrees visited Brazil around Christmas. I bet that this photo we have is I bet them in Brazil. Almost assuredly. Just based on what you can see in the photo. I wonder if this is... I bet this is said politician, actually, and his wife. That's my guess. Okay. So, yeah, we're gonna have that as a guess. Is that... Put that in the notes. Is that Edson Soros politician? His wife had an affair with Guy, maybe? I think we see them in the Christmas photo. Okay. Okay, so we've got this incident. Translates to Maple Fire. In 1982, the factory is deliberately attacked in a case of clear arson. The fire brought under control after destroying about 2/3 of the production floor, and locals claimed the air smelled like a mix of burning plastic and maple syrup. That would not be the clone I would go for. The factory is rebuilt and continues production this day. At the time, it was unknown why this happened. Last year, a news special did list this incident and a few others, and the small town's backlash perceived corruption in the government at the time. The report, the mayor of the city was found to be receiving a cut of the factory's profits. Okay. Okay, well, unfortunately, this search led me back to the same place. I wonder if I search New Brazil Candy Corporation, if that will help. Yeah. Okay, well, let's go back and learn about the wife of this Edson Soros. Because I think it mentioned her being in business or something. His wife is Sonia. So Sonia Soros. Okay, however, Spider Search does return a page that lists a news anchor in Brazil named Flavio Soros. Okay, so Flavio Soros, a young Brazilian newscaster with a bit of a cult following. The discourse surrounding him is, put in polite terms, lewd. There's a website about something called fan fiction that has a small section dedicated to him. It seems that women and some men of a wide variety of ages and writing skill tend to find him worthy of inclusion in their stories. You skim some of the tales there and learn that a common thread is that he's currently dating a supermodel named Ashley York. Many stories either seem to ignore her existence or get her out of the picture rather quickly. There's also more traditional fan sites that list some things about him, including his age of 18, his zodiac sign Libra, his favorite food grilled steak, and his mother's name Sonia. Also, it seems that Flavio translates to golden-haired. One website with a signed publicity photo of Flavio seems to confirm this. The photo has been added to your evidence. Okay, so there is Flavio to Natasha, kisses from Brazil. Okay, well, we know who his father is. Okay, but let's look at Ashley York, perhaps. As a British supermodel who does ads for perfume, clothing, and jewelry. Been the subject of some controversy in the past months, having been protested by PETA for wearing fur over on the cover of some magazines. Okay. Can we guess? Which of these is going to be that one? I'm going to guess this is Sonia. Okay, so if we're guessing... Do I have a Rochelle Zimmer over here? I don't think I should have Rochelle Zimmer over here. So yeah, I think I'm going to take the wild guess. And so if I have to fill it in somewhere, I think I have to fill it in here. So this is going to be Sonia. Suarez? What's his name? I forget. Edson Suarez. Okay, we know that's a picture of him. Mother named Sonia. Okay, so you're Flavio. Suarez. You are in television. Like a news anchor. There we go, news anchor. Do we know this is a photo of you? Okay, your mother's name is Sonia. I don't think we know... I don't think we have any fantastic way of knowing his mother's last name, do we? Okay, yeah, we need to find some more information, but I don't know where to look for it. Let's see. There might be some more sort of floating around in some of these Just trying to see if I can find anything about Roottrees Brazil. That might be helpful. Maybe I should just Google Roottrees Brazil. Am I going to find the paper of this place or something? San Bernardo de Campo is a real place in Brazil. A game designer by the name of Jeremy Johnson looked up cities in Brazil that had a lot of manufacturing. You could place a fictional factory there. Not want to offend any Brazilians with the tale he was writing. So the small town he named up, where the factory is located, was invented by mixing names of these two things. Okay. I feel like this is a very meta joke. Really 1979. Okay, so the just to add that to my timeline, I should actually try and keep this updating. 1979. New factory in Brazil petitioned. That involved all the factory works are being replaced. Now run Roottree Brazil entirely. Okay, we got this. There's no... Translates to Maple Fire. This is 1982. Yeah, the mayor was receiving a cut of the factory's profits. We sort of know how that all goes. But I'm missing some... I'm missing some link here or something like that. I can, of course, hunt down the other people in this. His mother was, like, in charge of the TV media mogul or something. Was this Tiller Reed is the... Still lack of resources online. How am I supposed to come up with information about it, though? Because, like, it's clearly what I want. Is I want to know who ran Tiller Reed. There's no chance that this, like, showed up in the books, right? And somewhere in this, like, let's see. got the special services interpreter. Brazil. Patrol. Yeah, this doesn't look like we have anything referencing like official bribes to run the media station or whatever. But I think this is probably right. I don't have any other like periodicals that I could search for this, right? Oh, interesting. Okay, I actually did get this by noticing that he was dating some sort of teen idol. So there's actually a Teen Blast story here. Ashley York, a British model, appeared on the cover of Teen Blast wearing a fur shawl 3 months ago. His appearance didn't lead to any interesting information, but another more recent appearance in text only mentions she's dating Flavio Soros. In it, a Teen Blast reporter asks how they met. I was in Rio for a carnival, and he was on one of the parade floats. I had no idea who he was, but I liked what I saw and told my people to invite him to the party I was going to. I felt pretty stupid once I realized we were going to his party. Well, his mother's party. She runs a media empire down there that's called Transmisapulo. Okay, so that's good. So that gives me a thing to search. Okay, so spider search that. Okay. Is a massive media group owned and run by a mysterious woman named Sonia Alves. Okay, so Sonia Alves. Oh, I didn't even put in her picture somehow. It's that one. It seems Sonia Alves is a common name in Brazil, so she shortened her name to Nia to stand out in the public eye. Oh, somehow I threw this in the wrong page. I should, yeah, whatever. Okay. No, just delete this. This should be here. The history page that's focused on her company and vague on searchable details, Nia received a significant inheritance in 1980, invested it in many direct manufacturing businesses in her hometown in Brazil. At the same time, began to learn the ins and outs of running a television network. She continued to work in television until in 1988. Brazil began its period of reform. She felt this was a perfect opportunity to launch her own media company using investment and connections. Now, her company owns television networks, magazines, newspapers, and advertising firms. Doing some translating, this page about Nia lists her as unmarried. It does not go into any other relationship history. Searching for Nia online, you learn that she stays out of the spotlight. She doesn't even appear at shareholder meetings. She sends a proxy. Okay, so I'm going to guess if I search Nia Alves, I'm going to only come up with this page. Yeah, okay, so... Yeah, media mogul seems correct description for her. Okay, so why don't I have 4 correct then? And who is this, actually? Oh, that's probably her manager, I see. Okay, I was trying to figure out how I was going to get a picture of him, but I think that just is a picture of him. I assumed that was going to be a picture of Miracle, but Miracle, I see, doesn't have any slots. I think we got Joanna Robertson's last name right. I think this must be correct. Who's this woman in the background of this? Is there a chance that that's Nia? I don't... No. I don't think so. I'm just Googling Nia. I'm sure isn't gonna... It's either gonna come up with nothing or it's gonna come up with the same thing. And so the question is, if I think all of these are right, that one, and that one, why have they not locked in? So something is wrong. Let me make sure that the Joanna Robertson one is right. I'm sure it looks like Joanna Robertson. And we even get that Joanna Robertson leaves, but Joanna Fellows comes back. So Joanna Robertson is right for that. I wish I had slightly more to connect exactly what's going on with Edson Soares here. Oh, I never noticed this history button before. This seems very helpful, actually. I Who's Chris Rafferty's father again? Oh, that's Clark. I see. Okay, so this is Clark Rafferty. Who could well be the person who's going in this particular slot over here. Just based on the fact that we have a photo of him. Okay, let's look at the other Roottree things. Susan Ford, we know, is being employed as some sort of translator for a bit. So let's go back to this Roottree Everywhere business. And let's look at these others. So let's look at China. I know I did this. I know I looked into this at least a little bit way back at when I was first playing this, but I have not in a bit. Let's see. Longbow. Okay, we get this associated with the Roottree China. We get this bit about this woman listed simply as Xin Yu. Tranquils. I guess all these that I've highlighted I've searched before, but maybe not. Okay. Business is said to be owned by husband and wife Jerry and Linda Han. Okay, let's see. Let me add a note page here for Roottree China. I can highlight this. Jerry and Linda were born in China and fell in love during college. Linda's father led a large company. This article never names it. After expanded to the U.S., Linda's father approved their marriage so long as Jerry took over the U.S. portion of the business. Linda jokes this entire situation like something out of an Alanis Morissette song. How ironic it's ended up. I was absolutely terrified to move to the U.S., but my big sister was desperately in love with the idea. She used to have this Butch Cassidy poster on her wall and was obsessed with Robert Redford. Somehow Jerry and I were the ones sent here, and now we couldn't possibly imagine going back. We had Mark. I'm going to just highlight that because presumably Mark. Oh, oops. Mark. There we go. We never even considered giving him a traditional name. Meanwhile, my sister stayed in China and has thrived there. She doesn't even like visiting the U.S. anymore. Our kids are the complete opposite, though. Mark couldn't wait to travel abroad as soon as he's old enough. He's actually in business school in China now, working with my sister. Our niece, who grew up there, was the opposite. She couldn't wait to get there. She started calling herself Lucy Lang in high school and flew out here as soon as she graduated. The name change apparently drove my sister absolutely loco. Okay, I'm now, like, contemplating if I have, like, where is this going to end up? Because this is sort of, like, talking about a family with 2 children and some infidelity. I guess we don't even know that there's infidelity. Maybe this is just a family with 2 children that has absolutely nothing to do with anything. But it seems like this has probably got to end up like here or something, but I don't know exactly. Part of me wonders if, like, I keep wanting it to be the lady who's at the back of this photo, who's the one who's actually involved here, who's Nia. But that'd be weird because their child, or Nia's child, is also the child of this politician, so presumably that would be this, but who knows? She started calling herself Lucy Lang in high school. Let's see, what if I search for Lucy Lang? It's not exactly a common name, but it's not the most uncommon you've come across either. There are a few searchable details, so it might be possible to narrow down your possibilities. Lucy Lang is mentioned in the robotics website and part of Team Talon-Claw, one of 2 teams from the US participating in a new robotic-based show in the UK. Another is part of a small women's a cappella group in Los Angeles called the Gin and Tonics. A third works in New York for a business called Corporate Synergetic Solutions Unlimited. I hope it's this one. Their robot, also named Colin Claw, has been selected for appearance in the 2nd season of British show focused on robot fighting. Small blurb mentions that the robot fighting leagues have existed for a few years. As it moves to televise, Talon Claw is one of the 2 teams from the US. Robotics Club has a text-only site. I link from the university student section. The site seems like it's mostly used to announce scheduled members. It was supposed to meet every Tuesday and Thursday, but the last 8 dates have all been canceled because the few members of the team are currently in the UK filming. Another date for a few weeks for an interview in the school's newspaper. Oh, that sounds good to fight. The bottom, the traveling members are listed as the team captain, Jaya Patel, and supporting members Lucy Lang and Kurt Hauser. We've got to figure out what the name of the school newspaper is, because that would be what we want, actually. Although this has fallen like far down a rabbit hole that is only here because I just assumed I could follow these things, and this could be just like the wildest of wild goose chases, because I have no idea where these people could possibly fit in on any sort of thing here. Sea Lion is listed as a soprano. I don't know much else about her other than her name and that she performs as a soloist on a song called Like the Wind. The group were featured on a CD compilation called Boca, performing a cover of a popular boy band song. It doesn't seem relevant to your search. Oops. I also wanted to search that. Well, that's actually what I really wanted to do. It's rare songs. It feels like it has always existed. It's hard to imagine a world in which modern classic something. Many follow-ups. Next single, Talking Hands, had only reached 24. Searching for combinations of Like the Wind and attempting to narrow it down to results that include the Roottrees, you find an obscure Irish band called U2. Once cited both Fex and Jim and Diamond as inspirations. As far as you can tell, neither Fex nor Subways has anything to do with your search, and seeing as how U2 is relatively unknown to anyone outside of Dublin, there seems to be an odd coincidence. Oops. Okay, this is just okay, so let's look at subways of your mind. No, there's two like music ones in here though, right? Oh no, maybe that's the only one. I wonder if they call it Like the Wind. No. Interesting. That's right, and we're still like trying to figure out which of these Lucy Langs is even related. Although that one, the fact that that one's got a something about the Roottrees specifically is interesting. Corporate Synergistic Solutions Unlimited is a company located in New York City. Lucy Lang is a lead synergy engineer, ranked one of the top facilitators in the world by Business Watch magazine. Okay, that is a thing I can look up. As far as you can tell, CSSU is a company that other companies hire as consultants to increase their productivity. It's unclear their exact services they provide, and the site is light on details. There are a few high-profile companies listed as their former clients. You recognize their names, but none of them seem related to your current investigation. But I can go to the periodicals and Business Watch. Lucy Lang. Okay, each person featured in the article has a small bio, followed by a longer section about why they were chosen. Mentions that she grew up in a small Arkansas town, the oldest of 4 children, and she's only the second person in her family to ever have left the state. She earned her degree from the prestigious New York College, started as a junior associate synergy engineer. And 8 short years later, she's worked her way up. Now she's 32. She's the youngest lead synergy engineer in the company. The article calls her one of the top facilitators in the U.S. due to her work on a merger between 2 regional dial-up providers. As a direct result of her organizational changes and policies, the new company managed to eliminate over 200 redundant positions as part of the merger, making it an instant success. Okay. Okay, let's go back to trying to figure out how on earth we ended up down this ever. Okay, yeah, this is their the child of the Hans. I'm gonna guess Jerry Han will get me the same place. Yeah. Jerry, Linda, and Mark Han. Of Lang Tai. If I search for Lang Tai, the textile company, Bo had only daughters. Brother took control after his death in 1986. Langs and you. Elderly uncle was deemed unfit. Okay. The company has been performing well. Her nephew. By the way, is this the one that I have a photo of? This is, yeah, this is Langs and you. Her nephew, who is currently her second in command, is expected to take over when she retires. The board's stance is someone that has proven they can do something well, can do it 100 times well. An unproven leader could do this all. Was an early adopter of IBF. Helped his sister have a child. Okay, 1992 is when Zinyu took over. Let me add that to my timeline. Okay. So I can't quite find the connection there. And let's look at the other root trees here. Okay, so here's we've got the Australia one. Okay, so we've got this name of this person who was making licorice. Martin's licorice bullets. Let me make a note page for Australia. Most of his history is unrelated to the root trees. However, in 1979, he helped develop Roottrees Australia. He used his own wealth and built a new factory, and they distributed the maple treats. Same methods. A website about Australian commerce mentions that he had a very unusual business agreement with the main Roottrees company, much like how the Clancy Trust distributed profits. The profits of the Roottrees Australia would be split 50-50 between him and the American Roottrees company and Martin himself for him to do with what he wishes. This made Martin very, very wealthy, but also led to many cost-cutting measures meant to increase profits as much as possible, especially towards the end of Martin's life in the early 1990s. She could negate a poor reputation, and sales suffered immediately. A vast portion was placed onto his daughter, Robin Martin, who sold both businesses at the earliest opportunity. And Martin is featured on many of the top 100 wealthiest women in the world lists. It's a private island off the coast of Australia where she reportedly has her own exclusive retreat, no husband, and there was a widely circulated rumor somewhere in the 70s that she had a medical procedure to ensure she never would have any children. You can find a joke on a site called Edgy Jokes that implies she is quite promiscuous and has a punchline involving Robin's eggs. For what it's worth, Martin seemed to lean into the rumors. In the 80s, she once showed up at a charity function with 3 very attractive men, each wearing a shirt that said "Satisfied Partner" on it. The manufacturing leg of the company shuttered in 1992 after the death of Martin. And now Roottrees Australia serves as an importer and distributor. Okay. Sort of feels like this can't possibly be related to anything, but I'm going to learn about it anyway. Let's look at Roottree France. I guess this guy can only really have so many illegitimate children. Apparently this was a non-starter. Negotiations broke down pretty late in the process after the company had already been formed. The leadership of Roottrees went through a very large change shortly after. It's meant to be Tristan Robert. Let's Google Tristan Robert. Negotiations to take over Roottree France. He's still alive, and you come across an interview unrelated to Roottree from a few months ago. And then other countries have not been immune to Roottreemania, as you recognize the word Roottree in one of the questions. It seems the interviewer snuck in a question about his experience with the company at the end of the 70s. The article is in French and takes some time to translate section by section. He mentions Guy by first name only, and the tale he tells is quite ugly. Guy, the president of Roottree, was one of the worst men I've ever met. He approached my wife about having an affair, which she refused. He then kept insisting that this was the best way to celebrate the end of our business contract. I don't think he expected her to say no, and I don't think he thought she would tell me what happened. I punched him in the face and refused to attend another meeting with the man. They lost a lot of money on this deal because not only was he a terrible person, but he was also a terrible businessman. When he died shortly after, it felt like the universe was working things out. I wasn't surprised to learn that he has a secret child. He seemed to treat women like collectible pocket monsters. It seems mentioning Pokemon sidetracks the questions a bit, and the interviewer never returns to the subject of Roottree. Okay, well, it seems like this probably did not result in any children. It's not clear to me how the Asian families are going to fit into this story. You have to worry about Mark Clementine somehow. And then there's some very early things over here. Is the Mark Clementine actually like his child or something and not him, maybe? I wonder if he has a child named Mark Clementine as well. Like, it feels like we've got more pieces here than we have things to fill. Still feel like this is right, but somehow I have something wrong. And I can't imagine exactly what it is. All right, but I think I'm going to wrap up there for today. We'll pick up next time and we'll dig more into one of these things. I don't know exactly what. Hopefully we'll eventually figure out what's going on. I assume we'll eventually figure out what's going on with this group of people, and with Susan Ford and the translating, which I think we did not ever quite get to, even though in theory I feel like we should have. But thank you all for watching. I hope you're enjoying this return to the Roottree world, and we'll be back soon. Bye for now.